welcome to this super exciting episode. Our little baby girl is born. She was born last week. Pretty much after I had uploaded the last video, I went to bed. 2 hours later, my wife woke me up. And then 2-3 hours later, she was born. She was born here in the house, in the bathroom we had just finished. She's super healthy. We're really happy. And what's super nice is that the kids have holiday, so we can actually we have enjoyed the last week with the baby. The kids have all the time that they need to adjust to the new situation and can just spend as much time as they want with us, with the baby, which is really cool. We have one more week of holidays, so she couldn't have picked a better time. On the one hand, the bathroom was finished and nice, and on the other hand, now we have these holidays to spend time as a family, which is just so valuable when you have a newborn baby in the house. Speaking of the house, the last week I often wondered how many babies might have been born in this house, how many people have lived here. And hidden in these steps is this stone, and I don't know if you can see it, but it says 721. And apparently it said in the contract that is the year this house was built. So we're not 100% sure, but this could be the stone that they did back then, which is pretty amazing. It's also a bit strange that it's here in some steps. We're gonna find a nice place for it. So we have the stone, we have the contract, we have a couple of informations, but it's very little actually. And I thought, since we didn't do any building the last week, and it's a special time that a baby has been born in this house. In this episode, I want to look at a couple of things we know and don't know about the house and its history and the people that did live here or might have lived here. So, I'm drinking tea, normally Earl Grey or sometimes English breakfast. Why am I telling this to you? Because when we came into the house, in this place there was a workshop, and there was a cupboard, a shelf actually, with lots of teapots. And the former owners used these teapots to have screws and stuff in them, and had the same taste in tea, which I think is very funny. And we're actually using all of these teapots, the old ones that they had, but also the new ones that I add to the collection to keep our screws and everything that kind of otherwise would float around in the workshop loosely. Also, the former owners left us some washing powder, which we still use. A lot of stuff that we didn't want and had to throw out, but also some random stuff like these rubber boots that I sometimes use when it's very wet and I go out in the garden, and they fit as well. Other than what size shoes they had and what tea they drank, we know actually very little about the former owners. We know that they bought the house in the 1970s, that they had kids who lived here, grew up here, and we can see that they, especially in the beginning, took really good care of this house and had what seems to be huge respect for the old building style. And I think something that exemplifies this for me is this window behind me. And if you look closely, it's really fantastic. The window is straight, but it's fitted into this opening perfectly. And I think it's just a good example of how much care they took to keep what's there and add something. They also made most of these beams new, and you can see that some of the beams, like this old one, were made with an axe, straightened out with an axe, and then the newer beams, of course, were done with a sawmill, which is quite amazing to think that they did these huge beams, and there's a lot of them here in the house, just by hand tools. We are supposing that this room is one of the oldest ones, because here the walls seem original. We also here have this little corner with this washing area, which has a hole, and that runs through the wall actually, and this little fireplace. We think that this fireplace might have actually been moved and formerly set under this place where the new fireplace was made, but who knows. Anyway, these stones seem to be newer, so maybe the former owners did that. Let's go outside. I want to show you something here. So the house is not part of a village. It's quite separate from the next village, which is Saint-Marie-de-Gosse, which is 2 kilometers away. And it seems quite unusual that at that time, in the beginning of the 18th century, you would build a house outside of the village if it wasn't a farmhouse. And this apparently was not a farmhouse. Apparently a cleric has lived here. We don't really know what that means for the house. But something that I find quite interesting is we have this old wall. Probably not seeing too much of it. And then here is the house. And in this corner of the house, I think there was kind of a portal over here. And one thing that we can imagine that there might have been is a vegetable garden that maybe with the wall was protected from the animals that people probably had, because at the time people that lived here surely had some kind of subsistence agriculture. With the house being that old, and us basically not knowing anything about the time before the 1970s, we can only speculate how many people have lived here, how many babies were born in this house, how many kids have called this their home. But it's a fairly big house, and I don't think that in the 18, 19 and early 20th century less than 10 people have lived in this house. Probably more, probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 generations. So if we assume that, then at least 30 to 50 people have lived in this house over time. We have very little in common, of course, to those people. We can only imagine on a cold morning when it's only 12 degrees and you heat up the stove, what it must have felt like to live in this house without electricity and running water and so on. But we really, really like this house and this kind of feeling that it served as a home for other people as well, and kind of survives generation after generation and after generation. And it gives us the feeling of responsibility to take good care of this house, but also to turn it into something that is livable for people and where people like to spend time. And so when we read that message in the bathroom from the former owners and thought that we should leave a message as well, I think what we want to concentrate on, or what we want to put in the message is, 1, there was a baby that was born in this bathroom, which is kind of cool. 2, there's a YouTube channel. They can check it out if YouTube still exists whenever somebody rips out this bathroom. And number 3, whoever finds this message and rips out that bathroom, we really, really hope it is in an effort to keep this place a livable place. A place where life thrives and where people are happy to spend their time. we're doing our first little trip. We can pick up the birth certificate. Yoo-hoo! I think it's only natural that I end this video with a look into the future, now that a new baby was born in this house. And I want to do that in the future kitchen, which has its entrance over there. And there's 3 reasons. Reason number 1 is, as you can see, that's a place where we decided to change the look of the house, even from the outside. So in a kind of sense, I've talked about how different people have changed the house. In that room, we are doing the biggest change by having these big openings out to the garden. The other reason is that the future kitchen is actually the next project we're gonna work on. So we have another week of holidays, and maybe we'll do some side projects that we couldn't do in the time where we were keen to get the bathroom finished. But after that, we'll work in this room to try and get the kitchen ready by Easter, where we'll have a lot of visitors, and it would be really cool to have this kitchen working. And the last reason I want to finish in the kitchen is, for us, this symbolizes kind of what we want this house to be, a place of encounter. And in the kitchen, you're gonna meet, you're gonna cook. It's connected to the dining room, to the outside and the garden, where you can watch the kids play, go to the pool, etc. To the winter garden, where you can sit on a rainy day and have talks with your friends, your family, and so on. Yeah. With that said, I'm ending this video. I hope you enjoyed this little detour into the past and the future of the house. It's a wonderful evening, and with this view over the landscape, I wish you a wonderful week. Hopefully some good times with friends and family. See you next week. Bye bye.